actually take the time to sit down and be real with yourself about what you want. And I don't care how crazy it is. If you want to be a millionaire or a multimillionaire, I plan on being a millionaire. Absolutely. That's just the beginning. What does it look like for you to move beyond the success and build on the success that you've already created and to lean into the next iteration of success? Because for me, it included a baby. For me, it included lifelong commitment with my partner. For me, it includes bigger impact through my company. I am no longer afraid to share about these things and to be transparent. My manifestations that have happened in the past year are like knocking over like dominoes, just tick, 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 all in a row. Why? Because of me and because of my connection with my path and knowing where I'm called and being thoroughly committed to moving away anything that is in the way of that. And with that, my manifestations from my man to my baby to my house to this next chapter in business to my beloved clients, it's all happening because I declared it to be that way. And I became the woman who is a match for that. Welcome to the Worth It podcast. I'm Megan Taylor, coach for the brilliant minds and the rare ones who are always growing. I have helped ambitious women and men, business owners and leaders from around the world with defining and expanding their unique work, having the relationship that they actually want, and creating the life that makes all of the work feel worth it. Every week on the podcast, we discuss the key pivots that I coach my clients on and the real work required in order to be a leader and the woman or the man that you're here to be. With that, let's get started. Okay, I've decided to be like one of those girls who puts on their lip gloss as they're talking. How are you guys? Welcome back to the podcast. Today is a very exciting day because I just made a big announcement on my Facebook. I don't know if you've seen it yet, but my announcement is that I'm pregnant and I am so over the moon, excited and feeling so blessed about this moment. Not just because I'm pregnant, but I'm pregnant with the man of my dreams that I've been calling in forever and waiting for. I am so thrilled because I'm having a baby, and I'm not going to tell you guys how far along I am. You're going to have to stay tuned and subscribe to my podcast and follow along if you want more of the nitty gritty. And there is a lot of good detail. Trust me. This is my own personal love story, and it's like written from the stars. I've been working towards this for a long time. And today, what I want to share is about the power of making declarations. It's funny because as I was telling people, like telling my close friends and family, because I was just keeping this to myself, what I found is that almost every single person said, I'm so happy for you. I know how long you've been wanting this. And it's so funny because like in my head, I thought that I had been being open-minded about where my life would go. And being like, kind of like, if it is God's will or if it is my path, I will be a mother. But I was really focused on calling in the right partner as priority, and then that we would decide together whether we were going to have kids. You know, I'm 38. And so as I was getting older, if I was dating somebody who didn't want to have kids, that was difficult for me. Like the idea of not being able to use these like juicy eggs I still got, you know, like we still got some juice in here. Anyway, as it turns out, I have been declaring apparently to people that I did want this. And it's like been very consistent that people knew about it. And so it had me reflecting on what I wanted to share in today's episode, which is the power of declaration. When you declare out loud what it is that you want, what's important to you, and you share that with your close people, or you share that publicly and you speak it into existence. One, there's sort of this public accountability that happens where you like make this declaration and you start walking in alignment with that. But two, I do believe in the power of putting words to what you want and getting it out on paper or getting it out on a podcast or speaking it out loud to your close ones and like opening your heart and being vulnerable about what you want at the risk of not getting it. For my high achievers, this is one of, I think, the most difficult things is the skill of knowing what you actually want, which can be difficult to tease apart if you have old patterning around being people pleaser or being somebody who wants to be perfect. It can feel scary to like declare this lofty goal when you don't know how you're going to get there, but that's what faith is. Think about what you actually want in your life. Think about this next year, this next 3 years, this next decade. Life is long. What do you want to call in? Whether it's a deeper relationship with your current partner or whether it is a new partner, if you're single or if you're not single, if it's a baby, if it is a new stage in business. I actually recently just made a declaration out loud about my next stage in business. Since this new era where my life is blossoming with the right partner, a beautiful home where I feel at peace here, and like my energy is just off the charts, I have this desire to do more and give more to more people. And so I'm inspired to take my business to the next level. And I don't know if you caught the last episode, but I talked about the institution, a women's institution, and it's been a vision of mine for years, but I haven't had the clarity of mind and the capacity for it, but I have that now. So I'm starting to declare it now, even though I don't know how I'm going to get there. I also have a vision for it's either having a restaurant or else I want to host events and I want the food to be an important part of the event, because I think that quality food experiences and good service really bring people together and create a sense of nourishment and home that I want to offer to people. So that might be I'm not ready to declare that, but I will share that and say that could be a thing of the future. So we'll see. For today, what I want to share with you is I want you to take a risk of sitting with yourself long enough to really ask and maybe write it down on a piece of paper. What do I actually want? And write it down and make a list. Let it be 2 pages long. I don't care. Write down all the places you want to travel. Write down your qualities in an ideal partner. Write down the qualities you want to develop inside yourself. Write down that you want a new wardrobe. It doesn't matter what it is, but the point is that it's authentic and true. Write it down, get it all out. For women and men who are driven to be successful, you're going to be successful at what you truly put your mind to. But if you're not truly putting your mind to it, you're not going to be successful. And so what that means is being in alignment with what you actually want. That's when you start getting, the heart in alignment with your actions. And that's when, you really have the motivation to make it happen no matter what. There's this analogy that I use sometimes with my clients, but the idea is you're walking along and your friend, let's say, or you throw your hat over the top of this tall wall. And so no matter what, you're going to do whatever is necessary to get over that wall. And so sometimes what we need to do is we need to make a declaration and then let the actions follow that are going to get you there. Because once you declare it out loud, if you're the kind of person who can actually commit, your actions will follow through to make it happen. I want to invite my listeners to actually take the time to sit down and be real with yourself about what you want. And I don't care how crazy it is. If you want to be a millionaire or a multimillionaire, I plan on being a millionaire. Absolutely. That's just the beginning. We're just getting started. My pathway to being a millionaire is this Women's Institute. Might be the restaurant too. We'll see. For today, what I want you to focus on is defining what does it look like for you to move beyond the success and build on the success that you've already created, and to lean into the next iteration of success. Because for me, it included a baby. For me, it included lifelong commitment with my partner. For me, it includes bigger impact through my company. I am no longer afraid to share about these things and to be transparent. And it starts with being transparent with yourself about the authentic truth of what you want. And when you do that, watch it manifest faster than you ever thought possible. My manifestations that have happened in the past year are like knocking over like dominoes, just tick, 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 all in a row. Why? Because of me and because of my connection with my path and knowing where I'm called and being thoroughly committed to moving away anything that is in the way of that. And with that, my manifestations from my man to my baby to my house to this next chapter in business to my beloved clients, it's all happening because I declared it to be that way. And I became the woman who is a match for that. Listen, what I've created this year is what I call beyond success. It was taking what I've already created through my career, but then adding in the missing components that I knew were meant to be by my side as I was growing into these next levels of success. This meant really focusing on deepening into my relationships and becoming the woman who was the match for my mate. This also meant finding out, what does abundance really look like in my life? How do I create a life that feels worth it, where I don't just feel slave to my work, but I have a life that I'm fully getting to enjoy, that sustains me, that fuels me? And how do I take my work to the next level and do the work that I'm really here to do instead of what I think is going to pay the bills? This is what I've done in my life, and it's also what I've helped my clients do in their lives. And so if you know that you've been looking to work with somebody on something more than just sales or more than just business, and you want to work on these fulfillment aspects of your life, of working with a higher end client, bringing your work to the next level, creating a life that feels deeply fulfilling and rich for you, I have something for you. So we're doing these Beyond Success calls. They are 45-minute calls that are by application only with me. Basically what you do is you're going to reach out to me on Instagram if you feel the pull to potentially work with me and to explore this. DM me the word application so I know that you want the application. You're going to fill out the application. I'm going to read through the application, and if I know that I have a clear picture of where you're being called next in your life and in your work, and if I know that I can support you, I will reach out to you and I will provide you with my calendar link so that we can get you scheduled. Then we're going to talk on the phone for somewhere between 30 and 45 minutes. And we're going to get present to whatever has been coming up for you lately as a starting point. And we're going to get super, super clear on where it is that you're being called next in your life and in your work. I'm going to tell you what I think about you. I'm going to tell you where I think that you have limits in place and what is actually possible for you in your life and in your work. And then if you like it and you want to talk further about what it would look like to work together, whether individually or in a group or in person, then we can talk about that. And if you don't, then you can just take what you received, no strings attached, go do whatever you want with it. So I'm really excited about these. So if you feel the call to explore what it looks like to build on the success that you've already created and move beyond that into creating the life and the work that truly feels worth it, these are for you. Reach out to me on Instagram, DM me the word application, and I will send it to you so that you can fill it out, and I will review those sometime this week. Okay? So I'm going to leave you with that for today. Just in closing, I just want to invite you to declare out loud on your Facebook, on your Instagram, on YouTube, in your TikTok, to your boss, to your partner, to your kids, to your parents. I want you to declare out loud what it is that you want to create next and freaking own it, because your words are powerful. And watch yourself if you say things to yourself that take away from the momentum of moving towards that vision. If you're saying things that are self-degrading, or if you're saying things that are self-critical of your ability to have what you want, all of that all that talk, that inner talk, needs to go. And we're going to focus all of our language and all of our energy on creating exactly what it is that you're here to create. And when you do that, watch how much lighter life gets. when you're oriented towards creating what you actually want as opposed to just surviving the day-to-day. Because life is here to be really good for you. Life is here to be your version of heaven on earth, but that starts with being honest with yourself. I can help you do that. So reach out to me on Instagram at Megan W. Taylor if you need the application. DM me the word application so I know that's what you want. I'm going to be keeping my eyes open for my listeners of looking at the declarations that you're making about the goals that you're claiming are coming next for you. Okay? I will see you on the next episode. Hi, lovely. Really quick before you go, it would mean the absolute world to me if you found value in today's episode, if you would take a minute to leave a 5-star review for the podcast. This is going to help other powerhouses like you to be able to find it. Also, I love interacting with my listeners, so I would love to know more about what you thought about today's episode. If you take a screenshot and share it to your Instagram stories and tag at Megan W. Taylor, it's going to notify me, and I actually love to reshare your posts with my audience as well. With that, thank you so much for being a listener, and I'm wishing you a beautiful, productive, happy, sexy, lucrative week, and I will see you on the next episode.